Now, where they had a weather briefing that just ended a few minutes ago, and Public Information Officer for the Emergency Services, Adam Lewis, is going to be on the phone with me. Adam, how you doing this morning, sir?
Hey, Dwayne, I'm good. How are you?
Hey, doing fine. We appreciate you taking time out to give us a weather briefing update. I know that just ended. Can you give us the latest information, please?
I sure can. So I think everyone has been expecting some squirrely weather tonight, and the National Weather Service has upgraded the risk for our area specifically, the Southern Valley and the southern part of southeast Tennessee, for an increased risk level of an isolated tornado as well as damaging winds. So we are announcing that we are activating the storm-ready storm shelters that are located at 4 points across Bradley County, and want to make those rooms will be available beginning at 4 o'clock this afternoon. The timing for the event tonight looks to be between 5 and 7 p.m. at this moment. I'm sure that if that timing is updated, we'll be able to let people know that. But right now, the National Weather Service has increased the threat level slightly for tonight, 5 to 7 time frame, and so we're going to be opening up the storm shelters at 4 o'clock, encouraging people to have a place that they can shelter. If they don't, these rooms are available for that purpose, and we want the public to be aware that they're there and available. The next question I'm sure will be is, where are these rooms? And the best thing I can tell you to do would be to direct people to our Facebook page, Bradley County EMA, Cleveland Bradley County EMA. But I can tell you that we have 4 locations: the fire station on Menace Road, the Dalton Pike Fire Station, the Georgetown Road Fire Station, as well as Walker Valley. And the addresses for each of those locations are listed on our Facebook page and will be disseminated into the media as well.
Again, Adam Lewis, Public Information Officer for Emergency Services for Bradley County, is joining us on the phone. As we've been talking about this morning, we knew that there was a 10:30 weather briefing. And Adam, I know that has come, and you guys have moved up the timeline of when you think these storms are going to move through here now. And you just mentioned the storm ready rooms will be opening up at 4 o'clock. Can you defer anything to us about what is going on with the school systems at this time?
Well, I know that the City of Cleveland has already announced that all of their after-school activities will be canceled. I believe they announced that yesterday, so that announcement is still in place. Bradley County Schools, I think, are discussing and will anticipate having an announcement soon. But I'll let them release the information on what their decision is.
Adam, also, I know that we were, of course, that you said the risk level is up. When you say risk level, is that for just the potential of severe thunderstorms, or is it across the board the risk level went up with all the categories, meaning higher winds, hail, possibility of tornadoes? Can you kind of maybe break that down a little bit when you say risk level?
So the National Weather Service does sort of break it up into several categories. They look at the threat level or the risk level for a tornado. They look at the risk level for hail. They look at the risk level for damaging winds, not tornadoes, but just strong damaging winds. They look at the threat level for severe thunderstorms by themselves. And so the two main areas that the National Weather Service has upgraded are the threats for the tornadoes as well as the damaging winds, and that's really what's most concerning as we look to tonight's time frame.
All right. Again, we are on the phone right now. Adam Lewis joins us, Public Information Officer for Emergency Services, and we will definitely keep in tune to our school systems on what those decisions will be. Adam, is there anything else that comes to mind after going through that weather briefing just a few minutes ago that our local officials are going to be kind of staying in tune to over the next several hours?
Yeah, we're of course going to be watching to see the timing specifically. Oftentimes these things come in a little earlier, maybe sometimes a little bit later. So please bear with us and bear with the Weather Service as we try to predict that. What we really want the public to know and understand is, number one, have a way to get reliable weather alerts. Everybody that has a smartphone, we oftentimes get these warnings automatically, but what we're really encouraging people to do is to sign up for the alert system here locally, and you can do that very easily by just simply texting the words "Join CBC EMA" to the number 30890, and that information is also on our Facebook page and in various other releases that have been put out about this weather tonight. So please, number one, first and foremost, have a way to get good, reliable weather alerts. Then, should you need to, make sure that you have a plan in place, have proper precautions in place, and have a way and a place to shelter should you need to, should the situation arise.
All right, great information from Adam Lewis there once again. Well, Adam, I know you've got several other things to attend to. We will rely on you to call us back if this threat needs to be moved up, meaning the time frame or any other information becomes available. We know that you'll reach out to us so we can get it on the radio and on Mix TV.
We'll absolutely keep you posted. Thank you, Dwayne.
All right. Again, we're live on the radio on Mix 104.1, anywhere around the world on the free Mix 104.1 app. And this is the perfect time, as Adam was talking about there, Adam Lewis was talking about making sure that you have a way of getting alerts. Well, we will pass those alerts on to you through that Mix 104.1 app. Now, if you don't have the Mix 104.1 app, make sure you download it right now. Go to our website, mymix1041.com. You can download that free Mix 104.1 app, and then you'll make sure that you allow the notifications to come through as well. That's one thing that's very important, is to make sure that you do receive those notifications. So make sure when you set it up that the notifications are set to where you can allow those to come through. And as any weather alerts come through, whether it's through emergency services or things that we hear from Local 3 News, we will definitely pass those along to you through those alerts. And if you are an app subscriber, you already have our Mix 104.1 app. Thousands of you already have that. Make sure you go back in and check your settings to make sure that those alerts are clicked to where you can receive those, so you will be able to receive those in those timely fashions. All right. We are getting some information about schools, but we're going to hold off until we get an official information on that. That is always our policy here. We like to be first in bringing you information, but we're always going to be first and be the first ones to get it right as well. Let's go back and recap a few things that Adam Lewis was telling us there, Public Information Officer for Emergency Services. Basically, the storm ready rooms are going to be opening up at 4 o'clock today. And that is, I'm going back. I'm sorry. I apologize if we got just a few minutes of pause there. I'm getting text messages as we're doing different things here. So I'm just making sure it's nothing relevant to what we're talking about here. But Adam Lewis talked to us about the storm ready rooms, and he did mention those locations. We'd like to go back and visit those. They will be opening up at 4 o'clock this afternoon, so let's go ahead and visit that from our severe weather coverage, of course, presented by Mcintire Insurance. Here is where those ready rooms will be located for you, and they will be opening at 4 o'clock today. The Bradley Fire and Rescue Station on Dalton Pike at Waterville. Now, that's adjacent to the golf course there. And the information for that's going to be 3715 Dalton Pike. And let's see here. We are getting information right now, so we're going to kind of change our game plan there. I'll go back to those storm ready rooms in just a minute. Let's see here. This information that we're getting now, due to the threat of potential weather moving in this afternoon, Bradley County schools will dismiss an hour early, and all after-school activities are canceled. Elementary schools will dismiss at 1:45. Secondary schools will dismiss at 2:30. Buses will run their normal routes. So that information just in to the stations of WCLE. Some of you are probably receiving those alerts as well. I want to go back and read that to you. Let's see here. Due to the threat of potential weather moving in this afternoon, and we just spoke with Adam Lewis of Bradley County with emergency services, so we are confirming all of this. Bradley County schools will dismiss an hour early, and all after-school activities are canceled. Elementary schools will dismiss at 1:45, and secondary schools will dismiss at 2:30. Buses will run their normal routes. If you are someone that picks students up at school, then you'll need to prepare for that an hour earlier than normal. Going to go back to read some other text messages that we're getting in here and make sure that we don't have anything else any different. But again, we just want to make sure that we're very clear on this coming into us right now. We can also tell you, we mentioned that Bradley County after-school activities are canceled. Well, we already had that information from Cleveland City Schools yesterday that all after-school activities would be canceled. So both of those are now in play, and we can announce that Bradley County schools will be getting out an hour earlier than their normal schedule. Again, let's go back and revisit that. Elementary schools dismissing at 1:45. And secondary schools will dismiss at 2:30. Buses will run at their normal times. Staying here with our severe weather coverage, let's go back now to what we were doing right before that alert came through to us. Go back and visit some of the safe rooms and where they are going. That we can tell you that the safe rooms will open at 4 o'clock, and we can tell you that the locations of those safe rooms are going to be Bradley County Fire and Rescue, Dalton Pike at Waterville. That's going to be at 3715 Dalton Pike. We also can tell you that Bradley Fire and Rescue Station on Menace Road, located very close to Parkview School. That's going to be the address of 365 Menace Road. Bradley Fire and Rescue Station, Georgetown Road, close to Hopewell, adjacent to Volunteer Electric and Hopewell School. The address for this is 5345 Georgetown Road Northwest, and then at Walker Valley High School, of course, very close to Charleston Elementary and some of the other activities that's going to be going on there. So those areas are going to be open for you at 4 o'clock. So please keep that in mind. 4 o'clock, those storm-ready rooms. Now, keep in mind also that if you have pets, this is something that is very limited to a lot of these places, and so we want to make sure that you are aware of that. Be prepared that if you have to bring a pet with you, that there is only limited spaces for those due to just the space restrictions. So please keep that in mind. Now, we also want to tell you that Adam Lewis was telling us a while ago with emergency services that the risk level is up, what he felt was in two categories that was worth re-mentioning. We have moved up in the tornado threat. That has moved up. The risk level has moved up there. The damaging winds was another thing that the risk level has moved up from earlier reports. And so we hope that that is something that you will take heed to. A couple things that we mentioned earlier that you need to consider doing is making sure that we mention the Mix 1041 app. Make sure that you have those weather alerts and those alerts available to you. And then another thing, make sure that you have a plan in place. Adam Lewis mentioned that a while ago as well. It's something that if we do see some tornadic activity coming through our area, you can't wait till that last minute to be prepared. I would go ahead and take this opportunity. I know it's only 11:30. I would go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and make sure your phone is fully charged. If you've got a charger at your desk or maybe you're in your car traveling from one place to the other, while you still have that 3 or 4 hour window, I would definitely make sure that your phone is completely charged. Make sure you have that plan in place in case you need that, and make sure that you have a way to listen. And the app is a great way to do that here with us. And, of course, we'll go ahead and pass along the other information, too. We were talking about emergency services and how you can text CBCEMA to 30890. That's something else that you can do there as you're preparing just to make sure you can be fully prepared for whatever can go on. Also, let's see here. The time of the storm has been moved up where we thought originally would be a little bit later and maybe a longer period of time. The weather briefing that happened is telling us that information now that we may see those storms come through our area between 5 and 7 p.m. Unfortunately, that is a very heavy travel time for people getting off work. So hopefully if you are a parent or a grandparent, an aunt or an uncle that normally picks up the kids from school, maybe with the early dismissal of schools, you will be able to check out of work a little early, get the kids picked up, and be in your safe place by that time. Again, really the top story that we want to go back and revisit is at this time, due to the threat of the potential weather moving in this afternoon, Bradley County Schools will dismiss an hour early, and all after-school activities, this is for Bradley County and Cleveland City, will be canceled for this evening. Elementary schools will dismiss at 1:45. Secondary schools will dismiss at 2:30. Buses will run on a normal schedule, a normal route, I should say. So buses will run their normal routes, and the elementary schools 1:45, secondary schools 2:30. All right, so now Ashley's going to be joining me here right now. Ashley Flowers, I know that we're tag teaming. We've got Mix TV on. We got the radio and our listening audience, the app all going, and people are phone calling us in and telling us some closings that's going on tonight with some churches and things like that. I think you've got a couple of notes, right?
Yeah, so if you have any cancellations you want us to get on the radio, make sure you give us a call at 472-6700 would be great. Crossroads Community Church will have no activities tonight, and also the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA are closed for all after-school activities.
Okay, so there's really some good information. Yeah. And again, give us the information. If they want to send us something, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, the best way to do it is just give us a call, 472-6700. If that line's busy, call us on the mix line, 614-6499.
All right, thanks so much, Ashley, for that update there. Again, we are in severe weather mode for us right now. When this came through to us just about 15 minutes ago from Public Information Officer for the Emergency Services, Adam Lewis, telling us that the risk level is what he called it. The risk level is up in 2 categories. That is the ones that, unfortunately, are probably the 2 worst categories, which is the possibility of a tornado. That risk level has moved up, and then the risk level for damaging winds, which kind of goes hand in hand with the risk level of tornadoes going up. Those 2 moving up in the risk level. They are going to open the storm ready rooms at 4 o'clock. Schools dismissing early as far as Bradley County schools. And as of right now, Ashley, we've not heard anything else from Cleveland City or anything else at this time.
Hamilton County schools are getting out 2 hours early also.
Okay, Hamilton County schools. We know we have a lot of people that maybe live in Hamilton County that listen into our radio station. So now we are getting information that you're going to be dismissed early this afternoon.
Hamilton County schools will get out 2 hours early.
2 hours early for Hamilton County, which is a little different for us here in Bradley County. We'll continue to monitor what is going on. Ashley and Bridget and myself and Austin and Sheridan, all of us are here on staff. Steve Hartline is definitely out there beating the pavement, getting the latest information, and we will have everything that we can either up on our Facebook page. So keep us going today on your Facebook page. Of course, on the Mix 1041 app, make sure that you're allowing those alerts to come through. And when other information comes through, we'll definitely break in here on mixtv.tv as well and give you some live updates. So that's what we've got. Ashley, before we go, anything else that you're scrolling across there that you're noticing that may be worth mentioning here?
No, not yet. So just make sure if you have anything, get it out there to us. We'll gladly get it on the radio for you.
All right. So there we go. That's what we're here to do, is make sure we bring you the latest information. We appreciate Adam Lewis and everyone else that's reached out to us so far. Again, the breaking news, if you're just joining us, if you're just tuning in, due to the potential of weather moving in this afternoon, Bradley County Schools will dismiss an hour early, and all after-school activities for Bradley County Schools and Cleveland City Schools are canceled for the evening. Elementary schools dismissing at 1:45, secondary schools dismissing at 2:30. As far as any dismissal time for Cleveland City Schools, we have not heard anything yet from Dr. Dyer or anyone else from Cleveland City Schools about any dismissal times. Only thing we've heard about is no after-school activities for Cleveland City. And we did hear just a few minutes ago Hamilton County Schools on a 2-hour delay. All right, so this just coming through, Steve Hartline is, again, out there beating the pavements and getting in touch with those people that can get us the best information. This is coming through. Steve had spoke to the powers to be there at Cleveland City Schools. The city school system will not dismiss early. So now we do have confirmation on both of our school systems here in our area. Again, Bradley County Schools, an hour early dismissal, and then Cleveland City Schools stating that they will not be an early dismissal, no early dismissal for Cleveland City. They are just now stating that, and they want to remind you there is, of course, no after-school activities for Cleveland City or Bradley County. Not that most people would probably think that they was, but we want to make sure that we get that information out there. Stay tuned to Mix 1041 on the radio, on the free Mix 1041 app that you need to download right now by going to our website, mymix1041.com, if you don't have it. And then also stay with us on mixtv.tv. This has been breaking news and then also severe weather. Our breaking news coverage at the top was presented by Toyota of Cleveland, and now in severe weather mode, that is presented by Mcintire Insurance. I'm Dwayne Williams with Mix 1041. You've been joining us on mixtv.tv and also on the radio and on that free Mix 1041 app. We'll come back with more in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Hi.